Fighting Blight, one of 4 battles and one of 4 victories, Mayor Dave Bing is claiming tonight. He also listed victories over crime, public lighting, and transportation.
In fact, in his State of the City address tonight, the mayor sounded pretty much like a man running a thriving metropolis, not a city on the edge of collapse.
Despite the naysayers' predictions, there have not been any payless paydays. No emergency manager to date, and no declaration of bankruptcy for the city of Detroit.
But that was just about the end of the good news, the mayor admitting time is not our ally and the options aren't pretty. Still, he said, under the crushing burden of his inherited debt, he still managed to move the city forward, stamping out Blight.
When I took office, I vowed to demolish 10,000 vacant and dangerous structures throughout our city during my first term as mayor. To date, this administration has knocked down nearly 6,700 vacant properties. And we will reach our goal by the end of this year.
And he says under the guidance of a financial stability agreement with the state, he's created the Detroit Public Lighting Authority to get the lights back on. And he's made strides in improving the city's bus system. But crime is still an issue.
Are we concerned about the homicide rate in Detroit? Of course we are. Gun violence here and in cities across the nation has reached epidemic levels.
To crush crime, the mayor is leaning on churches, schools, and businesses to raise $60 million to keep recreation centers open and police and firefighters equipped.
This initiative is led by the Detroit Public Safety Foundation and brings together public and private supporters who are committed to creating a safer city. To date, the foundation has secured $15.5 million in pledges.
7 Action News reporter Tom Waite spoke one-on-one with the mayor right after that speech.
Tom, with a state takeover of the city possibly looming, did the mayor lay out a case to keep Detroit out of state's hands?
Yeah, Carolyn and Stephen, he definitely made a number of arguments that says Detroit is getting healthier. The question is, will the city recover without an EM? Well, the mayor says after 4 years under his leadership, he thinks the foundations are there.
We're much better off. We're building a foundation.
After his 4th State of the City address, Mayor Bing tonight tells me he is continuing the fight to save the city from a state takeover. Who would be to blame if an EM takes over? Is it your administration or the council? Have they not been working with you hard enough?
Well, the blame game gets us nowhere.
Bing says, bottom line, Detroit's doom has not come to fruition.
Everybody's been saying that the emergency management is imminent, not here yet. People are saying, you got to file Chapter 9 bankruptcy. That hasn't happened yet.
State Treasurer Andy Dillon was in the audience tonight. Dillon will have a major role in deciding whether to bring in an EM to Detroit. If he's made a decision, he's not saying what it is.
I'm not talking about that today. I mean, the review team is still doing its job, and I think the mayor had a good message today. Oftentimes we focus on the negative, and I think today's the day to focus on the good things happening in Detroit.
Council President Charles Pugh, often at odds with the mayor, gave his speech a relatively positive review, but did have some criticism on the EM issue.
I wish that he had been much more definitive about the fact that there is a way forward without emergency management.
There's been some real significant progress made on cash flow, but it's rooted in the notion of not paying some things that are due this fiscal year, putting them off to next fiscal year.
And I asked the mayor about his re-election prospects. He said he's not ready to talk about that yet. As for the review team's report, it's due by the end of the week. We'll keep you posted on what it says. Reporting live in Midtown Detroit, I'm Tom Waite, 7 Action News.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. It was a big announcement concerning Blight in the mayor's speech tonight, and leading the way is Bill Pulte of Pulte Homes, one of the largest home builders here in America. Pulte has created a private nonprofit group called the Detroit Blight Authority. The group is working with the mayor to get rid of blight in Detroit neighborhoods. Its first initiative consisted of clearing a 10-block area right across from the Detroit Edison Public School Academy. That's near Eastern Market, which means kids have a safer walk to and from school. That's just one of the reasons Pulte got involved.
I read an article on a young girl who walks to school every day in fear for her life, and my granddad's built, a large home building company, and I said, is there a way for us to leverage our skill set and experience to do that? And next thing you know, we're talking to the mayor and building out a model. So now all we can hope is that it's adopted, right?
Would you please stand?
Bill Pulte, his grandfather William Pulte, and retired Colonel James Henderson were recognized during the mayor's speech tonight for their efforts. And Pulte is not alone. The Kresge Foundation, DTE Energy, and Michigan Caterpillar are among several other organizations and businesses that make up the Detroit Blight Authority. The Pulte family, along with the mayor, will make an announcement about their future plans tomorrow morning at 10, and Action News will be there to cover it. Now, the mayor also announced that the city is expanding the Detroit Works project, which improves neighborhoods. It will include Jefferson Chalmers, the Villages, and Russell Woods neighborhoods near the campus of Wayne State University.